We're still here at the Moat side after Merstham secured a dramatic late win against Littlehampton Town. 2-1. Aaron Jenkins will grab the headlines, but we've grabbed the boss to have a little natter. It's been over a month, to be fair, so it's about time we had a catch up. Jamie, first of all, congratulations on the result. Was the manner of the victory maybe still a little bit in question? No.
The main thing is just winning. We're through going through a bit of a period of not being really quite at it for whatever reason. We obviously started the season really well, which was great. But then obviously your biggest test is once you have a setback, and we had a setback away to Ascot, which was a little bit unusual for us in the manner, and conceding the amount of goals we did. And obviously we've slowly tried to recover. There's been a few variables I think which have gone against us. I think we obviously had one eye on Tunbridge in the FA Cup because you want to do as well as you can, and whether players admit it or not, I think there was an element of that. I also think that being away from home for such a long period, 6 games on the spin, 5 weeks, it's a long time to not be at home in front of your supporters and where you're probably most comfortable. And I think that played a little bit of a role. But sometimes I think just getting back to basics. I thought we were the better team. I don't think they'd argue with that. I thought there were some real sloppy moments from both teams. There were some good moments from both teams, and I think for us, winning when you're not at your best is something we've done early doors in the season. And if that means we've got to carry on doing it until we get better at what we want to do, then absolutely fine by me. But I think the main thing is, when we look at, you went 1-0 down, good character to come back. We've equalised. There was a willingness to want to go and win. I felt there was probably only one team that wanted to win it second half, obviously. And, really grateful to see 2 of our forwards pop up with a goal, because we've been quite harsh on them this week at training about their consistency and their moments of quality. Hasn't been good enough at all, and I'm glad both boys, who again I didn't think were unbelievable today, but Olu comes off with an assist and a goal, and AJ comes out with a goal and a bottle of champagne, so everyone's happy.
Yeah, very good. Littlehampton did come here. They seemed tough to break down, particularly in the first half. But second half, last sort of 10, 15 minutes or so, they seemed to not down tools, but they gave us a lot of possession. Do you think like that our sort of quality on the ball was maybe a little bit lacking throughout today?
Yeah, I think they're not a bad side, and you've only got to look at their result last week against a good Burgess Hill, where they beat them on pens and obviously went down to 9 men, I think. So they find ways of winning games of football, which is credit to them guys. I thought scoring early for them probably ended up making the game slightly more difficult, in terms of they obviously scored and then thought, right, we'll defend what we've got rather than maybe go again, and that suited us. And at times we moved the ball really well, but at times it was far too sloppy, far too sloppy. Too many stray passes, too many balls going out of play. The end product, box entries, the last moment of magic, not there. Certainly first half, and I thought second half it was better, but far from where we want to be. And the difference is maybe this year we're getting away with it a little bit more in terms of grinding out those results, which is nice. But from a performance perspective, I haven't really been overly happy since the start of the season, if I'm honest. We were really good in pre-season, played really well in pre-season. We thought we achieved what we wanted to achieve in pre-season, and then I think winning comfortably in the FA Cup in the first round might have hindered some of the areas that we want to be better in. And then it's just been a little bit inconsistent throughout. And it's the one thing we want to change. We were inconsistent last year, albeit we had some good spells. We want to be a lot more consistent in what we do this year, and the players have got to take a little bit of ownership. We work hard. Our management worked really hard to give them the information. And as I said to them after the Beckenham game, which they were a disgrace in last week, and I told them that to their faces, and training wasn't nice this week. But as I said to them quite openly, we've got to go back to basics and getting our quality right, and we've got to be able to run and work hard. And we were 23k down running stats from our team combined, Beckenham in comparison to Tunbridge. That isn't a choice. Sorry, it is a choice. That isn't an option where players are going, passes weren't always there, or the final end product. You've chose collectively not to work hard, right, because you're playing against deemed lesser opposition from Tunbridge to Beckenham, and you got hurt by it. So I think the boys have got to go back to what we've done really well early doors, when we were grinding out results, we were working hard for each other, we were defending really well. We're having our moments going forward, and the hope was consistently we'd have more moments. We've got to get back to being better in both boxes.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I mean, obviously, you and the management team will be working on that sort of thing going forward. For me personally, the 7 away games that we've had, 3-0 down after 25 minutes at Croydon. This afternoon, 1-0 down until the 63rd minute. At least it shows that the squad has got character and they can drag themselves up by the bootstraps sometimes.
Yeah, and the funny thing is against Croydon, Dragey hits the post with the last kick of the game, and if that goes in, which probably does any other time, you win 4-3 and people go, oh, what great character, albeit how unfortunate they were with a yellow card. So we know we've got that character in there, but why do we have to face adversity before showing a little bit of character? Why can't we show character from the first minute and want to win from the first minute? And a lot of that's just, I think, the overall adopted persona in that changing room, where they're very happy, they're very relaxed, they're very they enjoy being around each other. But as great as that is, sometimes you've got to demand a little bit more from each other, and actually you've got to create an environment where, yes boys, we do and enjoy what we do, but losing ain't fun. Because I'll tell you what, the last week hasn't been fun for me after that Beckenham game. No. We were disgraced last Saturday. The worst performance I've ever had as a manager in the last 4 years. Wow. That bad. Not because of our quality, because of the lack of effort, the running. I defend those boys all the time when it comes down to running, when it comes down to effort, intensity, because I always feel in the main it's there, even if our quality deserts us. On that particular game, there wasn't any of that. And we've had some tough calls this week and some open chats. And I think sometimes you've got to go through that little period to get back out of it stronger. Biggest estimate I can get is it would have been easy to go 1-0 down and then sink, but we didn't. We showed a little bit of grit and to win the game. Let's be fair, it's not panic station. I think we're sixth. Yeah. I think we're sixth. We're one place at the players with games in hand, so it's not panic station. But are we happy to accept mediocrity, or do we want to really push on from last year? We used last year as a catalyst to steady the ship and to bring in some good quality and performances. We had some great memories, but we want those memories more consistently. We don't want them to be ad hoc and sporadic. We want it to be more consistent. Absolutely.
Speaking of new faces, Sam Roberts, Bradley Wilson, Andy Somo, can you just give the fans an indication of why they've been brought in recently?
Yep, Sam Roberts was brought in on a bit of an emergency loan, so Tyles never trained this week. He had an incident at work, which is realistic to the level we're at. So yep, stepped on a nail whilst climbing the roof. So obviously from his perspective, we might have been able to risk it. Had we not, we would have played young Sam Allen, who's always done really, really well for us when he stepped in. But he didn't train Thursday because of his calf. So we looked at and thought we've got two potentially unfit goalkeepers. Do you gamble on two, or do you bring someone in? And Sam coming in and done really well. Andy Somo worked with him before. Good goal scorer. Obviously playing at a higher level, so we just got to get him fit and firing, and it'd be really good for us. And Brad Wilson. Brad's a good player, really good player. Wasn't at it today. Was poor today from his high standards, and I say that because I really, really like Brad, and I think he could be very, very good for us. But it's not easy when you're joining a club without a pre-season, 10 games in. So here come good, very good player.
What's it like being back at home? We've said it's been a calendar month since we've been here. What was it like coming back, seeing the fans and everything?
Brilliant, yeah, brilliant. Just nice. The pitch was great today. Nice to see some familiar faces you don't see on seven away games on the spin. Lovely day as well. Yeah, we like being here. Our record last year at home in the main was very good. Our record so far this season in the main has been very good, barring the Eastbourne game. Mm-hmm. And we always enjoy being here, and we like rewarding the supporters who, to be fair, travel great away from home as well. But when they're at home, it definitely feels like they give us the edge. So yeah, really happy.
Just given everything that you've said, 95th minute winner, AJ's popped up at the back post and bundled it in. What was the atmosphere like on the bench amongst all of you guys?
Relief. Probably relief's the best word to describe it, because when you're in a rut, you just got to get out of it. And we're not in a rut. We're flirting with a rut, because I think you need to take the games in context. We won our first 6 on the spin. We then hadn't won in 4. And one of those was against Tunbridge, who obviously are a good team, and we worked really hard that game, and there was positives.
And we gave them a really good run for their money, to be fair.
Good run for their money, so you take that game, there's 3 in there. Croydon, second half, great, we've equalised, but standard first half was nowhere near it. Ascot, first half, nowhere near it. Beckenham in general, nowhere near it. So it's all right looking at the results in context and thinking, well, 3 of those ain't great, but that's 3 out of 4. Yeah. So we've got to turn the ship, and if that means getting a win and doing it well, we were a little bit more like ourselves today. I thought we created some moments which was a little bit more like ourselves, but we've just got to sharpen up in everything we do, and it's got to be it's got to be something we work hard on. There's no easy fix. I think teams up and down the country go for it. When you're confident and you're flying, everything becomes simple. Those easy 5-yard passes become second nature, and when your back's against it and you're worried about everything, suddenly you probably think about it a little much, and that's not just in football, that's in life. So yeah, got to get confident, and that win will hopefully massively help in terms of lifting spirit. So.
Excellent. Well, Jamie, thanks for joining us as always, and we'll push on to the next one.
Cheers, Jay.
Cheers.